Tape from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, a show where two comics from New Jersey geek out and nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, Darren Patterson.
And I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
Hey, you like that, guys? We switched it up.
We did. I
went full Don Pardo there.
You did.
I felt his essence, his aura in me.
You were moved by the spirit of Don Pardo.
Yes. Oh my God, it was crazy. It was like that movie, All of Me, with Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin.
Oh, yeah. How'd that feel? Did that feel good?
It felt great. Yeah. I was like, yeah, all right.
I feel weird now.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm not in control of the show at all. I'm just like, whoa, what the hell?
Oh, black man starts to be in control. Suddenly you don't like it.
Yeah, the white man feels threatened. That's the way of the world.
Fear of a Black Planet.
That's right.
Chuck D told us about this, people.
That's right. But this week, because Saturday Night Live is off, we are going to do a theme that Darren suggested. We're going to talk about our favorite characters.
Yes, our top 5 favorite reoccurring characters of Saturday Night Live. This was trickier than I thought, just because...
It does get tricky, yeah.
Like, I just didn't... it was a lot. Like, I thought it'd be fun and nice and easy, and then I just started writing out all these characters... And it was just like, how am I going to limit it to 5? And it was just...
It's tough, right?
It's exhausting. I lost sleep.
Wow.
You know, it took me to the brink of sanity.
Wow. You had a journey.
Yes. I lost my job. My marriage is in shambles.
Wow.
But I had the top 5, so we're good.
Okay, well, it was all worth it then.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
I think so.
That's good.
All right, well, so what were your criteria for your top 5?
Oh, well, I tried to keep my criteria as simple as possible. I figure they had to be a recurring character, so I figure they should appear, like, say, 3 times or more.
Yeah.
And it had to be a character that I never got sick of. Whenever they showed up, I wanted to still be like, hey, cool, we get to see this character in a sketch.
Oh, interesting.
Or on a weekend update segment, because I included those two. I don't know if you were omitting those.
No, I included those two. Those count.
Okay.
Recurring character.
Okay. And I also, there are some things that I really loved that I thought had like really strong first sketches, but they didn't really do as well when they came back.
Yeah.
So those I eliminated. I would call those like the Debbie Downers of the sketch characters. Debbie Downer I thought worked brilliantly the first time, but it was never quite as good when they brought her back.
I know. And there was another sketch we talked about. Maybe we'll talk about it later, but there was another sketch we talked about last week about that. But that's a great criteria.
So what was your criteria?
Mine was basically, I just kind of wrote down all the reoccurring characters that I liked throughout the years, but then I went back and rewatched them because I had this feeling. I have this kind of feeling that, like, a lot of times when we think of characters that we like from Saturday Night Live, we kind of remember them in that moment.
Yeah.
And maybe if you go back and look at them, maybe they haven't aged well.
Like they're better in your memory.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like maybe you just connect them to a certain time, way back in your younger years.
That's a good idea. I didn't do too much of that. I mostly just went by memory. I rewatched a few sketches, but not too many.
All right.
I did find one sketch that I watched this morning that I totally forgotten about by a character that I finally remembered.
Oh, we could talk about that too.
That was interesting. Yes.
Oh, I'm on pins and needles here.
I know. So how should we start? Should we start with our honorable mentions? And
do you want to do honorable mentions last, or we'll do the top 5?
Yeah, well, let's do honorable mentions last.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So
why don't you start? This was your concept. So
I'll start. So at my number 5, as all you devoted listeners know, I am a Eddie Murphy fan. Some would say a stan, as they say in the hood. And so with that, I give you number 5, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
I figured there were going to be some Eddie Murphy characters on your list.
I love Eddie Murphy, all right?
Yeah. I'm not saying this as a criticism.
I'm not going to apologize for my love.
I love Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
Yeah,
that's great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a simple premise, just, Mr. Rogers in the hood.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's like one of those sketches where just because it's one person, it really, like, all the heavy lifting is done is for that one person. If you have the wrong person in that sketch, it can go horribly.
Yes.
Luckily, Eddie Murphy is the right person for everything at all times, and he carries the sketch beautifully. Like, in every sketch, it's usually just him, like, talking to the camera. And like,
it's a one-man sketch.
It's a one-man sketch.
I'm actually, if you just heard me typing, I'm looking up how many times they did Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood on the show. So let's see.
I know it wasn't too many times, but it was a good amount. I'm gonna say like maybe 3 or 4. If I had to
It looks like it was a total of 9 times.
Oh,
so that for the
more.
early 80s, that's a lot.
Yeah.
It debuted February 21st, 1981, and his last appearance was December 15th, 1984. So 9 sketches in a little over 3 years.
It's pretty damn good.
Or close to 4 years.
Yeah.
I guess. But
and again, I rewatched it lately. It still makes me laugh. Just the way he kind of plays this con man who's also like a children's talk show host or the children's host of a children's show. Children's host of children. Yeah, that makes sense. And it's hilarious. And of course, every time when somebody bangs on his door in his apartment, he has to, who is it? Who is it? He has to answer in a deep voice.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I would highly recommend Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood to anybody who hasn't seen it, and it still holds up, and that's my number 5.
Yeah, that's a great solid choice for your number 5, I think.
I did it.
I approve. I'm giving you the thumbs up right now.
Sir. Thank you.
All right, so my number 5 is also like going back a few years. I chose Nick the Lounge Singer, Bill Murray's recurring character, where he's always a lounge singer named Nick, and he's always in a new location, and he always has a new last name.
I was trying to find, because I was considering him for my list, but I couldn't find any of his stuff online. It was tricky.
It's tougher to find the older stuff. Yeah, I went on the SNL app to try and find some Nick the Lounge Singer things. They have a few of them on there, but
few is not enough.
It is not enough. They all deserve to be up there. I mean, but they always did the clever name. Like I remember he was at an Indian casino and he was Nick Thinblood.
What?
Yeah,
I don't remember that
because
at all.
he was like 1/16th Chippewa or something that. And the main thing this character's remembered for these days is his rendition of the Star Wars theme. I think
Star Wars,
nothing but Star Wars. Oh, let these Star Wars stay.
You really felt the.
And hey,
what
about Darth Vader in that big black ugly mask? Did he scare you as much as he scared me?
Wow,
Star Wars, give me those Star Wars. Oh man, you let these Star Wars stay.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm done.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Wow, you really went on a journey. Did the soul of Bill Murray inhabit your body then?
God, I hope so.
Is this?
I mean,
wow. Is this place haunted? Why are all these ghosts inhabiting us?
That's yeah. Well, we could do a lot worse than be inhabited by the souls of Bill Murray and Don Pardo.
That's true. I'm cool with that.
But I also
who are we gonna call?
Yeah. I see what you did there. But I also loved, like, Bill Murray resurrected this character for the 25th anniversary show.
Yeah, I saw that.
Maybe it was the 30th. It was one of the.
That was the 40th. It was the most recent one.
Yeah.
And like
it was just him going through the audience and riffing, and I remember like he sees Catherine Zeta-Jones, and he's like, Mrs. Zorro, and it's all just Bill Murray improvising, which he's a master at, and he started singing Me and Mrs. Jones, and then he stops like mid-lyric, and he just goes, is it Zeta or Zeta? And she's like, Zeta. And he's, me and Catherine Zeta-Jones, and I could watch Bill Murray do that character for hours.
Oh, Mr. Murray.
Yeah.
Taking me back.
He's just one of the all-time greats.
He's great. He's fantastic.
And that's a sketch, I always liked it, and I don't think they ever drove it into the ground.
Okay.
You always had Paul Schaefer accompanying him on the piano, which was fun.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because that's during the days when Paul Schaefer was in the SNL band.
That's right, the Schaefer days.
Yeah. Pre-Letterman.
Pre-Letterman.
With hair.
What?
Yeah. You see Paul Schaefer with hair, it seems weird now.
It's odd.
Because he's been shaving that head for so long.
It seems like it shouldn't be. Like it seems like he's always been bald, like Charlie Brown.
Yeah. He's got a nice looking head.
Yeah, he's a smooth dome.
Yeah, I envy that. I've got a lumpy head. That's why I can't go all the way down.
It works. It's, party in the back, business on top, or whatever. However he goes.
That's a mullet.
Oh, is that not what you're going for?
No.
Well, all right.
Okay.
It's still you look fantastic.
All right. Well, thank you.
We're pro bald here on the SNL.
Yes.
Yes.
We have to be.
Yeah.
We don't have much other choice.
No, we are cursed.
Even our producer Frank is bald.
Yeah, that's right.
This is an all bald podcast.
All bald all the time.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's not by design. That's just how it worked out.
It's how it. Yeah.
We had the secret bond that all bald men share.
The bald bond.
Yes.
Just came together just magically.
The bald bond. But what was your number 4?
My number 4. I'm looking at it now. I don't.
Oh no! Oh, you're having doubts now.
I'll hold on to this.
Oh, is it going to be higher?
No, it's about right at 4.
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
Your notes are like just far enough away from me that I can't read them.
Excellent.
I can see that you've written stuff down. You've got a list, but I can't see what it is. So the suspense is killing me.
That's what builds the suspense, my friend. Mm-hmm. So yeah, number 4, I put Craig and Ariana, the Spartan cheerleaders.
Okay.
You cool with that?
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I think they were a thing that I might have gotten like a little tired of with time. Let me see how many times they did them.
They did it a bunch because it was really popular.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it was Sherry Terry, Will Ferrell as 2 cheerleaders for the Spartans, their high school team, the Spartans. And there were 2 cheerleaders that didn't make the cheerleading team, but they just go ahead and cheer for teams anyway. They're like rogue vigilante cheerleaders, I guess you could say. And so it's always just the 2 of them, and it's a very physical sketch because like they just really like jump around, and like I forget how physical Sherry Terry was. Like she was really just all about it. She was hopping around and all types of madness.
Yeah, she and Will Ferrell they threw themselves into those characters like whole hog. And I cannot find a page about the Spartan cheerleaders on the SNL wiki.
Page not found.
I don't know. I'm just not.
Right. But yeah, I mean, also,
but they did them a lot.
Yeah, they did it a lot, and like the fact that Will Ferrell's so tall and Sherry Terry's so short, like visually, it looked great, and like they were because of that they were able to do like all these like kind of tricks and jumping around and whatnot.
And it was interesting. Like they kind of developed a backstory on those characters. Like I think the first time or 2 they did them, they were just like real cheerleaders who were just exceptionally lame, and then it kind of came out in subsequent sketches that they were these overly enthusiastic kids who wanted to be on the real cheerleading squad, but they couldn't make it, so they formed their own cheerleading squad, which is kind of a neat backstory for them.
They went rogue.
Yeah,
and it was great. And like so, then they also have them cheering at not just football events, but also like the chess team.
Yes,
have like
swim. Yeah, it was like events you wouldn't expect cheerleaders to be at.
Swim meets, and they were just everywhere. And then there'd be always one of the athletes coming out, be like, "What are you guys doing? You losers! Stop it!" Mm-hmm. And then of course it'd end with them doing the perfect cheer, which was some choreographed, goofy dance to some hit of the '90s.
Usually like Funky Cold Medina.
I'm pretty sure. Like everybody danced now. CNC Music Factory was one of them.
Yeah, the main one I remember is Funky Cold Medina.
Funky Cold Medina was a good one.
I mean, you gotta love the Funky Cold Medina.
Oh, of course. So
absolutely. That was who did that song?
Tone Loc.
Tone Loc, of course.
Oh my God!
No, my head.
Know your history.
I'm deeply ashamed.
Jeez Louise!
I'm properly chastised now.
This is embarrassing. I apologize, listeners, to everybody that was offended by that.
I had like a brain fart for a moment.
You should always know Tone Loc.
Okay.
Just at the ready, at the rip. Just have that.
All right.
Yeah, and so the 2. Yeah, so it was like Will Ferrell and Sherry Terry. They were very physical. There was actually one sketch I saw online where like Sherry Terry was like literally hanging from Will Ferrell like his waist. Mm-hmm. It was like who's that?
Like her legs were wrapped around him, or
yeah, something like that. She was like wrapped around. Her legs were like wrapped around his waist, and then she was hanging upside down. And then Will Ferrell was like, "Who's that Spartan hanging upside down?" It's me. And she was like, literally like, it was they got like really physical with it.
That's impressive.
I know, and it's like, oh wow, I forgot how they really like went the distance with this one, and I always got a kick out of it. Just like goofy, nerdy enthusiasm, it brings a joy to my heart. What can I say? It warms my soul.
Okay,
and that's my number 4, Spartan cheerleaders.
All right, let's see. Who is my number 4? Let me look this up. Number 4, I have Mr. Jebediah Atkinson.
Ooh, wow!
So
I did not see that coming.
I told you I was going to surprise you.
That's a Dark Horse.
That's that's
right.
a character, Taran Killam's, who is a recurring character on Weekend Update, and he debuted November 14th, 2013, and it was honor of the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address.
Right.
They had there was an actual newspaper that gave a scathing review of the Gettysburg Address. So they imagined this character as the guy who gave the bad review to the Gettysburg Address, which is now recognized as one of the all-time great speeches of all time.
One of the best addresses of all time.
That was horribly redundant, and Jebediah Atkinson would have torn that apart on me. Next!
I remember that. There was a Weekend Update sketch. Or Weekend Update character.
Yeah, and they kept bringing him back to do catty reviews on everything. And I just love this because he's in the whole Revolutionary War era getup. He's got the wig, he's got the Ben Franklin glasses, he's got the outfit, and he has big index cards,
right?
And every time he'd move on to the next thing, he'd just go next and toss the card,
right?
And he just had wonderfully catty lines, and I just always got a kick out of this character. I don't think they ever really drove him into the ground.
No, I remember it, but that's like one of those characters that you remember as being good, but you don't remember them as being like synonymous with Saturday Night Live. Like it's one of those kind of not forgotten. I guess maybe forgotten characters.
Underrated,
forgotten character. Like one of those characters. Like I remember him. It's like one of those type of characters.
Yeah,
but I remember. Wasn't there one time where he kind of because you said when he threw away the next card, he kind of flipped it in a weird way and it kind of boomeranged around.
It boomeranged back and it landed on top of his pile of cards, and you could see Taran Killam genuinely break, and he just goes, "Couldn't do it again if I tried." And, it just seemed like a character that Taran Killam always loved performing. You could just really read the joy that was coming out of him doing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I occasionally his lines would get groans, and he was like, "Well, I don't know if I should do this next joke because the audience went full bitch on that last one."
Yeah, he just leaned into the character.
He really did, and it was just so great. I love that character.
Yeah, Taran Killam, man. He's a guy I don't think got enough props.
I would agree. I still miss him on the show. He was one of my favorite cast members.
Yeah,
and I still think it sucks that he had a unceremonious end on the show.
Yeah, that was a bummer. Oof,
yeah.
But yeah, guys, Taran Killam, huge fans, and go back and watch his old stuff.
That's right.
You'll be pleasantly surprised. I
Google some Jebediah Atkinson, SNL, and
get some Jebediah.
Be entertained.
Yes.
Get some Jebediah up in you.
All up in your guts.
Yeah. So
that sounded gross.
It did.
Yeah.
But we'll just
there you go.
Move on.
As soon as I said it, I was like, ew.
Yeah. So next we have our number threes. Who is your number three, sir?
Number three. Let's see how this plays out with everybody. I'm gonna go with everybody. It's just you and me here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna number three. I'm gonna go with MacGruber.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, all right.
I'd forgotten about MacGruber.
Everybody's forgotten about MacGruber.
I did not consider him for my list, but if I'd remembered him, he very well could have earned a spot on my list.
MacGruber. For those that don't know, it's basically a play on MacGyver. It was a sketch with Will Forte where he was like a MacGyver-like character, and it was basically in every sketch. I think it was done by the Lonely Island guys. Mm-hmm. It was a pre-taped sketch. Every episode, it was him and two other people locked in a room, and they had to 10 seconds to defuse a bomb, like MacGyver would do.
Yeah,
and
they were always in a control room,
always in some type of control room, and then it was always them. It was always MacGruber trying to defuse the bomb, but something would happen, and MacGruber would act goofily, and it would end with the whole place exploding while MacGruber was saying something mid-sentence.
Yeah, it was always a really, really quick sketch.
Yeah.
I mean, it would run like a minute and a half.
Yeah, but then usually they brought it back again throughout the show where it's like MacGruber.
Yeah, that's true. Like
the one I saw, there was one with him, Kristen Wiig, and Charles Barkley, where MacGruber kept calling Charles Barkley says, "Oh, hey, Darrell, could you pass me that?" It's like it's pronounced Daryl, and like it was like basically the sketch was like how MacGruber may have been like racially insensitive to Darrell.
Is this the one where he ends up in like a dashiki at the end?
Yes, that was it.
I loved that one where
like,
MacGruber got really woke.
Yeah, exactly. And he was like, "Kristen, hand me that paperclip," and then Darrell, slap me over that razor blade, fat chops, you dig? And he's like, "Why are you talking like that?"
Right,
he's
right.
Like, I just want to make sure you're comfortable with the way I'm talking. Oh, wait. Oh.
Hello? One of us did something with our mics.
Oh, no, I think I hit a chord. Is there anything?
Okay.
Are we,
yeah.
all right.
I think we're good.
Sorry about that. I just get so excited when talking about MacGruber.
Sure.
We
could use MacGruber to fix our technical problems right now. Am I right?
Oh, hey now. But yeah. So he's one of those characters you just kind of forgot about. But like I liked him again. Like Taron Killam, Will Forte, I think was underrated. And I put MacGruber on my list as my number 3.
And I think it's also worth noting they made that into a full-length movie.
Yes, the MacGruber movie. We'll talk about this during the summer, but I think that movie is hilarious. And I remember when that movie came out, and it made like no money. Like
it flopped hard.
It flopped crazy hard, and I'm like, what is wrong with people? This movie is hilarious. And
maybe they just didn't sell it right. Maybe it just didn't have the advertising campaign it should have had.
I guess. I don't know. But that happens with a lot of the Lonely Island movies too. Like, the first movie, Hot Rod, I think.
Yeah, was it actually the Lonely Island guys who did the MacGruber movie?
I'm pretty sure.
I didn't realize that.
Like, I'm pretty sure like Akiva and Yorma wrote and directed it. One of them. I'm pretty sure Akiva directed it. Maybe Yorma.
Yeah, I think
like they did it. I know they did it.
Okay, let's see. I got the Wikipedia thing.
Let's look this up.
Yorma did direct it. Yorma Taccone.
And then
see, who wrote it?
I'm pretty sure it's got to be the only
screenplay by Will Forte, John Solomon, and Yorma Taccone.
Okay, all right. So within all the but it was Lonely Island adjacent. Mm-hmm. So yeah, like Hot Rod, this MacGruber, and if you haven't seen Pop Star, Never Stopping, go out and watch Pop
Never
Star.
Stop Poppin'?
Never Stop Poppin', Stop Stopping.
Yeah.
Poppin'. I don't whatever it's called, but I saw that movie on like HBO just on a lark because I was bored, and it was a hilarious movie. It was real. I really liked it, and like I was like, why does no one see this movie? Why am I the only smart one that understands why movies are so good?
You're just way ahead of the rest of us.
I know. Oh, heavy is the head.
Yeah.
Where's the crown? Why do I have to be so brilliant and see these movies for the genius that they are, and everybody has to be so dumb?
MacGruber, by the way, grossed $9.3 million worldwide against a $10 million budget. So, didn't do so hot. The film has since been labeled a cult classic, according to Wikipedia.
It's a cult classic,
and Wikipedia apparently has entries for a cult classic.
It was only on for a year. And that's good because that's how you establish a cult classic.
Yeah. So
I
can see why they didn't make a sequel when you don't even make your budget back.
Yeah, I remember that movie. I remember that being like when the movie came out. I remember that being like it was a real stinkeroo.
That's a shame.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even see it until like a couple weeks after it came out because I was like, I don't know. But then,
so it's your fault.
Yeah, sorry about that. In hindsight, this was my fault, but I hope the fact that I put the MacGruber sketch on my list makes up for it.
Okay,
you're welcome, Will Forte.
Okay, for my number 3, I've got another deep cut.
Ooh,
this is one that is currently, I think, unfairly forgotten.
Okay, here we go.
I can't even find it on the SNL app.
Oh wow, it was erased from history.
Let's see if you remember this.
Oh boy,
Astronaut Jones.
Oh yeah,
Tracy Morgan.
Astronaut Jones.
Tracy, this is Tracy Morgan. He's in like this retro 1950s style spacesuit on a real fake looking planet set, and he's exploring this planet for the first time.
Right.
And then he comes across some aliens that are usually some very attractive women who are quite voluptuous.
Yeah, it's like a Barbarella.
Yes.
For all you kids out there.
Yeah.
Who know Barbarella.
The kids love the Barbarella.
Right?
And then it goes into a long, elaborate theme song of Tracy Morgan just singing the theme song, playing the guitar. Rocket, I'm taking a rocket. I'm packing my suitcase.
Is it walking with a suitcase?
And it's hilarious, and it's this great build-up, and then the female aliens are talking to him and talking about how they gotta learn from him, and they have to exchange knowledge, and then Tracy Morgan's just like, yeah, right, yeah, dig, yeah,
no doubt,
yeah,
true,
no, and then he's just like, why don't you just turn around and show me that fat ass? And then the sketch ends.
And it just
that is
like 75% of the sketch is the theme song.
Yes,
and the 25,
which is wonderful. I just love that so much. I remember one of they only did this maybe 3-4 times, I think. And I remember one literally ended with Maya Rudolph breaking character, and she was like, "Okay, that's it, Tracy, I'm done." And he's like, "Oh, come on, Maya, you know I've been wanting to get you pregnant."
Oh my God!
and these sketches,
whoa.
Like they are, you can find them online. You have to dig a little. You have to go to some of the, you have to go to the dark web to find them.
I was about to say, like, whoa, I don't think a Fed's after me looking for an SNL sketch. What the fuck?
But God, I always loved this. It always made me laugh. They never did it too much.
Wow. All right.
It's just short, stupid, quick, in and out, and then boom, you're done. Big laugh, and that's it.
All right. Wow.
That's what makes me happy.
I did not see that. Wow, you're coming in.
I told you I was going to surprise you, man.
You're coming in with the deep cuts.
I know.
You shocked me, good sir. All right, so my number 2, I had a bunch of them written down, so I'm going to choose one right now.
Okay.
I just thought about it as you were talking. I was listening to you, but I was also thinking.
Sure.
And I think I'm going to go with this number 2. I'm going to go with this number 2. Basically, it's Sean Connery from the Jeopardy sketch.
Oh, nice.
I only went with this guy just because, like, to this day, I still think about, like, the stuff he says, like, Trebek. Like, I don't know why, like, and of course,
the horse semen.
Yes, exactly. That always got me, like, the most. Like, when they'd have, like, one category in the Jeopardy. For those that don't know, it was a celebrity Jeopardy sketch. Will Ferrell was Alex Trebek. He was pretty much a straight man, and then they'd have like 3 people dressed as celebrities, and one recurring celebrity was Daryl Hammond as Sean Connery. And apparently, like, they kind of built up this thing where Sean Connery had like this very cantankerous relationship with Trebek. He's always like constantly berating him, telling him that he slept with his mother.
Yeah.
And just like calling him,
that's whore. Yeah. Like your mother.
Yeah.
Semen.
Yes, calling him a homosexual and the like.
Yeah.
And like they'd have things like the categories in Jeopardy would be like, Japan, US relations. And he said, "I'll take Japanese relations for $200, Alex."
And whoever came up with those puns or whatever you want to call them, brilliant wordplay.
One category, I remember a lot of these categories now that I think about it. One category was the pen is mightier, and he pronounced it the penis mightier.
Yes.
$500.
And it's just amazing that they kept coming up with those. I just looked it up. Apparently, the Celebrity Jeopardy has had a total of 15 appearances on SNL, and the Sean Connery character appeared in 12 of them. Because the Celebrity Jeopardy had started out as just a way for Norm Macdonald to showcase his Burt Reynolds impression.
Right.
And then Norm Macdonald left the show, and they kept on doing it.
Right.
And so Trebek needed another foil, and they somehow came up with Sean Connery.
Yeah, and he does a great show. I mean, like, I think we talked about it last show, where he does, it's not like a spot-on Sean Connery impression, but it's like a exaggerated
Yeah,
Sean
it's a
Connery.
caricature.
Yeah, caricature, so it's more funnier, when it's more exaggerated.
Right,
it's funnier.
Right. And I remember him even doing the Sean Connery a few other times. I remember like Pierce Brosnan hosted like sometime in the 90s, and they had Daryl Hammond come on as Sean Connery to berate him during the monologue.
Yeah, and people like Sean Connery berating people. It's
I mean,
it's their lane apparently.
And Daryl Hammond, he's not on SNL, but he's still with the show because he does he took over for Don Pardo doing the intros and that. And I'm assuming he does those live.
I would assume so. Right?
I would assume that he does those live just because you never know.
Yeah, he's like the fan of the opera with SNL. He's he's just always around.
So he's on the premises. So I would love it if Daryl Hammond even made like some cameos as Sean Connery once in a while.
I don't know.
That would be fun.
I think it'd be great. I mean, I don't know why they haven't, but like I'd love to see.
Maybe he doesn't want to. Who knows?
Yeah, that's probably it too.
Yeah, maybe it's his choice. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you're Daryl Hammond, call in
Daryl, or tweet at us.
Wow, the phones are lighting up.
Ooh, wow.
Wow, look at that.
Hot dog.
You know what? Looking a little closer, I realized we do not actually have a foam board.
What?
I'm actually looking at a keyboard right now.
Are you kidding? I've been telling people to call in like since the first episode of this show.
Wow, this is embarrassing.
Oh, you know what? As I look at it, that's not a phone. That's actually a keyboard. I thought that was a phone because I saw numbers on it. But in hindsight, that's a keyboard and that's a mouse.
We're not real technically adept. This is why we usually have our producer Frank do all the tech stuff.
Yeah. So we don't have a phone, huh?
So.
Well, live and learn.
Well, call in and tell us why we should have a phone. Folks.
Yeah, call in.
So, call in. Just let us know.
Call my home phone if you could. Oh, yoy. All right. So So my number 2, Sean Connery. I'm actually I'm happy with that.
You're happy with that?
Yeah.
You can live with that.
Everything else will be
because you've already put it out there on the airwaves. So
yeah, I did.
You're locked in.
This is legally binding. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes.
People could take me to court if they.
Yes.
God.
Yes, they could sue you for breach of contract.
Oh, gotta call my lawyer. Oh no.
All right, my number 2 is another Weekend Update character. Who could possibly even be thought of as
who could it be?
The Weekend Update character.
Oh, I think I got a guess.
Who do you want to guess?
If I
won't berate you if you get it wrong.
Rosanna Dana?
No.
Ooh, all right.
No.
All right, who is it?
Stefan.
Oh, wow, Stefan.
Bill Hader character, Stefan, club kid who was like the what was his title on Weekend Update when he came on?
He was like the travel leisure.
Yeah, he was
or like place like they would always ask him like, oh, where can tourists go for
right.
And
he was always giving like tourist travel tips.
Yeah.
And
there would always be these like horrific bizarre places.
Yes. This character had everything. He had weird clubs with Bill Hader doing weird voices and noises.
Yeah.
And he would break occasionally when John Mulaney changed up the jokes on the cue cards at the last minute.
Is Stefan here in the studio right now?
And he had a crush on Seth Meyers.
Yes, that was pretty much it.
So, I mean, but all of those together, I mean, that gave him like 3 cool bits.
Yeah.
In one character. You had him giving the grossly inappropriate things for family destinations because they were always like things that a young guy who's into the clubs would be into.
Exactly.
The big alternative scene. He had the ongoing crush on Seth Meyers. And
he'd break from time to time.
And you'd have him breaking because John Mulaney would change the jokes on him last minute just to see him break. And I usually don't like it when the cast members break on SNL,
right.
But it was somehow endearing when it was Bill Hader doing it as Stefan because it was genuine. I don't know. I mean,
because people ragged on Jimmy Fallon for breaking all the time, but you liked it when Stefan breaks.
Yeah, and
explain yourself.
I guess I just.
You just hate Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah. I mean, if you get right down to it, I was going to say I like Bill Hader better than Jimmy Fallon, but hate Jimmy Fallon. That works too.
That works too.
That works too.
Wow. All right. So I did not. Actually, I was kind of surprised that you choose Stefan, but
I always loved Stefan, and every time they would do to Stefan, I would be like, oh yay, Stefan! I never got sick of Stefan.
You pumped your hands in the air.
I did.
Hooray, Stefan!
And I looked it up. He made a total of 19 appearances on the show.
Wow.
So they went to that well a lot.
They went heavy.
Actually, he didn't start out as a Weekend Update character. The first sketch he was in, he played, I believe, like Ben Affleck's brother. They were.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, they would. It was like Ben Affleck going into a meeting with some Hollywood people, and he was like, "Oh, my brother Stefan is going to come with us," and it didn't quite work. So they brought him back as like a Weekend Update character.
The rest is history.
Yeah.
History was made. No, that's great. Yeah, I know a lot of people love Stefan, and yes.
Yeah.
And just him breaking, or like a lot of times where he would talk in a Stefan voice, but then he'd switch it to like a deeper voice.
Yeah, and Bill Hader's just so adept at doing voices, and it would just be like, this next club is called Hello. And,
yeah, exactly.
And it would be like something like that.
Yeah, I remember there was one that was like this. Even for a hot time downtown, go to this new club in Tribeca called Your Mother and I Are Separated.
Yes.
I was like, whoa.
Yes. And he could just switch those voices on a dime.
Yeah. Again, Hader is, he could do everything.
Yeah. Bill Hader's another guy I really miss on the show.
Oh, God. Hader, Forte, kill him. Where have you gone, Joe DiMaggio?
A nation turns its lonely eyes to you.
Woo,
woo, woo. All right.
So number one. Wow,
we are at our number one.
We've zipped through this.
We have flown through this.
Jiminy crickets! I did not see this coming.
But we'll
the inconsideration. That'll be like
the honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. Yes. All right. So my number one. It might be cliche, but I gotta go to it. Wayne's World.
Okay.
That's my number one.
Wayne's
I gotta
World.
go.
Wayne's World. Party time. Excellent.
Exactly. See, and that's why it's my number one. Like you have, as soon as you say Wayne's World, you automatically got to do the theme song.
Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like everybody knows Wayne's World at this point.
Sure.
Dana Carvey, Mike Myers, two teenage kids in Aurora, Illinois, and
two nutty kids.
Yeah, two wacky bros. Just in a basement, just partying, listening to the rocks and the rolls, and the like, and just and I don't know. I guess there's a certain charm about it that I really like because like they do like just things out of nowhere, like the extreme close up.
Yeah,
just like going whoa, and they'd be like, okay, all right,
yeah,
and then that was it. That's all. And I think the first time they did it, it didn't really take off. It maybe took a while.
I mean, I've talked about this before on the show. Like the first couple times they did it, it was in the 10-1 slot. It was like at the very end of the show,
right?
And then I think it was like the third time they did it. It was at the opening of the show. And that's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean that
like
it
never
grew
happens.
like that.
Yeah, that never happens. Like usually stuff that is in the 10-1 slot stays in the 10-1 slot. But like for the fact that they believed in it, or maybe Mike Myers fought for it, I don't know. But they're able to bring it to the forefront and showcase it a little bit more. And it just took off. It was a pretty incredible thing.
And they made 2 movies of it.
2 movies,
which were both hits. I think.
Yeah. What's the second one to hit?
Well, the second one probably didn't do as well as the first, but
but the first one's a solid movie.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
And
that really made Mike Myers' movie career.
I would agree.
Yeah, I don't know if he would have gone on to like do the Austin Powers or the other stuff that he did without the Wayne's World movie hitting the way it did.
Yeah, so you're saying So I Married an Axe Murderer didn't make it?
I think it's rather acknowledged that So I Married an Axe Murderer didn't do well. I think I think So I Married an Axe Murderer came out in maybe 93 and the Wayne's World movie was 91 or 92.
Okay.
I remember I was out of the country when the Wayne's World movie happened.
You on the run?
I was.
You on the lamb?
I was spending a semester overseas in college.
I'm saying you're going to tell me.
But I was also on the run. Yes,
I
I was like dealing drugs while I was there. You ever see the movie Midnight Express?
Yes.
Based on a true story.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot today.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we're learning you were a drug mule. That's cool.
Sure.
And Wayne's World, it was just like a very charming sketch. It was hilarious, and you could tell that the way that they kind of acted. The thing I like about Wayne's World is those two characters were very fleshed out.
Yes.
Like a lot of times with
they seem like real kids.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of times with characters on SNL, they're pretty much just a catchphrase, or pretty much just,
or they have the one bit that they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But like you could tell with. I'm sure this is maybe Mike Myers doing, or maybe whoever wrote the sketch. Like they took time to like really kind of flesh out the character, create a backstory for the character. You kind of got a good sense of who they were. So like when the movies came around, like the transition from TV to movie was kind of seamless.
I think probably a big part of that was Mike Myers' improv background, because he was a Second City guy, trained with Del Close.
Yeah,
and
he was almost one of the kids in the hall, right?
Was he?
I remember hearing.
I've never heard that.
I remember hearing of. I think it was on WTF, either maybe when one of the kids in the hall, Mike Myers was interviewing. I forget. Maybe it was Foley or McDonald.
Right.
Or maybe when Mike Myers was on WTF. I remember them saying that, like Mike Myers was very close to being one of the kids in the hall.
Wow. I've never heard that.
Like they knew each other back then.
Okay.
But I forget I forget the story, but like I know like they were close to being. He would have been one of them, but something happened and he ended up on SNL.
But I remember reading. I think this might have been in the biography I read of Del Close. There's a great bio of him called "The Funniest One in the Room" by Kim Howard Johnson.
Right.
Mike Myers, because he had that Second City training from Del Close. He was one of the people who actually learned from Del Close. He was always big on being very specific in your choices in improv.
Right.
And he created a character to just sort of decry against again, when you don't make specific choices. He had a character called Vague Man. He was like, I'm Vague Man. I go to the store. I do things. And I mean, and Wayne Campbell is so specific.
Yeah,
like, you know what he's into. You know what he says. You know what his life is like.
Right.
And he's got all that very specific detail. And I think that really built the character and made people able to relate to him.
I agree. And he was, and like since the sketch and the movie took off, he kind of introduced like all this new vernacular to all of us. Like, no way, swing, not.
I'm looking at the list of the catchphrases from Wayne's World, and there's like 20 things on here. There's party on Wing, party on Garth, excellent, swing, we're not worthy, not.
Yeah.
Oh God, that became like
that got annoying. All right,
that got annoying in the early.
I may have to bump it down to 2. I forgot.
So he loses a point there.
Because like that's one of the things that everybody said. It's like
we got right, no way, fished in. I think I'm gonna hurl. The Wayne's World party time, excellent. Squeeze me, baking powder.
Right.
And monkeys might fly out of my butt. Are you mental? Hello. Sphincter boy. I don't remember that one.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
A sphincter says what? And
what?
And
exactly.
You mentioned this one before. Extreme glows up.
Whoa, exactly. It's just so much
that's
like just goofy. He was able to like sort of capture the essence of the goofy teenager and just make a sketch around it. And
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. Wayne's World, my number one. Done.
Yeah. That's a great choice.
Well, thank you.
My choice was not Wayne's World for my number one, but it is also something that involved a Mr. Dana Carvey.
Oh, I got it. Go
Church lady.
There you go.
Isn't that special?
Oh.
You gotta love the church lady. I think that's one of my all-time favorite characters from SNL. Apparently, that came out of Dana Carvey said he based the character on women that he knew in his church growing up who would like keep track of when families wouldn't show up as often as other families, and be like, well, I guess some of us only come to church when it's convenient.
Again, catchphrases galore.
Yeah, and it's just such a specifically defined character. The look of that character. And there was, and whenever somebody did something scandalous in the news, you could just plug them right into a church lady sketch.
Yeah, I remember actually on my way here today, I watched some of the church lady sketches on the SNL app.
Ooh,
they should give us money for the.
They should. Yeah. We're giving them all this free publicity.
I mean, come on, SNL app, get on it. But yeah, I was watching one of the sketches that they had on, and on the church lady church chat show, they had on Jimmy and Tammy Faye Baker, which was Jen Hooks and Phil Hartman.
Oh, Jan Hooks with the mascara running down her cheeks. Yeah.
And there was also a sketch where she had Rob Lowe on, and that was
after the sex tape.
Back when that was scandalous. Now it's just whatever.
Yeah. But now it's like, oh, my sex tape is dropping next Tuesday.
Download it.
Yeah.
Download. But then and then she like spanked Rob Lowe with the paddle, and I think like Dennis Hopper was on an episode. It was like whenever some scandalous, salacious, celebrity came out.
There was one I was forgetting. They had Fred Savage when this is like Wonder Years Fred Savage as his niece.
Yes, I remember that.
And it was, so he was like a little miniature church lady, and they were just doing the lines in unison, and that was great.
I remember. And wasn't there a sketch where John Goodman dressed up as as her mother?
Oh, I don't remember that, but that sounds very funny.
There's one where John Goodman dressed up as like an older church lady. I'm pretty sure she was a church lady.
Oh, that's cool.
Mom.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, if you go way back, there's a sketch where before Church Chat, it was a church lady, but she was in like a regular sketch at a church. And like, I guess it was before she got her own show, and she was just like the church lady just interacting with other people in her church.
Oh, yeah, probably like berating people for not showing up enough.
Exactly,
something.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
And actually, I think Chevy Chase was on that sketch as like one of the priests, and like actually one of the characters, I think it was Jan Hooks. She references her as Enid, so I believe the church lady's name is Enid.
She has a real name. It's Ina Strict, I think.
Enid Strict?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Enid Strict.
Interesting.
So, so there's that little bit of trivia for you.
So now you know the rest of the story. Okay. All right. So yeah, church lady. That's a solid number one.
Yep.
Constantly.
I'm good with that.
Okay. All right. And that's our top 5, guys.
Those are our top 5. No crossover between our lists.
I was shocked. I was really thought like we'd like the streams would cross at some point.
But a nice variety of stuff I think we got.
I think we did it.
Yeah.
Yay. All right. So
high five.
High five. All right, so in consideration, we actually high-fived.
We did.
That was enough
because we're
sound.
that lame.
Yes, we are. All right, so in my consideration, I put a bunch. Well, I mentioned Rosanna Dana.
Right.
I'm surprised none of us did anybody from like the early year.
Pretty much a lot of my honorable mentions are people from are characters from the original cast.
Right. I mean, there were characters I thought of, like Rosanna Dana, the Samurai.
The Samurai was on my honorable
solid.
mention. The Bees I put on my honorable mention.
I can't find that. Is that Bee sketch online? I can't find it anywhere.
There were a few different Bee sketches.
The Killer Bees?
Yeah. It's, and apparently part of the reason they kept going back to him was because John Belushi hated doing them.
Oh.
And he thought they were really stupid, so they kept doing the Bee sketches to piss off John Belushi.
Oh, poor John.
But... yeah,
wow.
I enjoyed the Bees.
All right, the Bees are good.
Yeah.
The two nerds, Lisa Lupner and Todd DeLaMucca, Radner and Bill Murray. I enjoyed. They still make me giggle.
Yeah.
This one came very close to making my top 5, but at the last minute, I kind of pulled them out. The ambiguously gay duo.
That's on my honorable mention.
I was like, every time they came on, it was hilarious. And at the time, like,
great.
That shit was just outrageous.
And the one where they did the live action ambiguously gay duo, they were hit by a ray, and it was like John Hamm and who was the other one? Was it Jimmy Fallon?
Might have been Fallon, yeah.
Yeah, but I remember it was John Hamm, which, God, it's a crying shame that is still the only superhero that John Hamm has played.
God, yeah, we've said it on this podcast before. John Hamm should be Batman,
or he should be some superhero.
He should be something. I mean, look, he's gorgeous, and he's
and he's in his 40s for crying out loud.
Yeah,
and he still looks like a Greek god.
My lord, the sculpted chin.
Yeah.
Just tight and taut.
Yeah.
The man's beautiful. Put him in something. Why? What?
I think you've now been possessed by the spirit of the ambiguously gay duo.
What's everybody looking at?
Nothing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I always enjoyed the ambiguously gay duo.
Who else? Another one I liked, Dana Carvey. He would do this on a Weekend Update. The grumpy old man. Like,
that's the way it was, and
we
liked it.
We loved it.
Yep.
Who else do I have on here? Anal Retentive Chef.
That was a good one.
That came pretty close to making it.
Fest Drunk Brothers. I put them.
French Truck Brothers are good.
Two wild and crazy guys.
See, exactly. That's one of those, again, those characters that they're so cemented with SNL. I felt like I should put them on my list, but then I watched the sketch again. I was like,
And those are characters, they cast a long shadow because they didn't do those characters too many times because they'd only do it when Steve Martin was hosting. So they only did it like 4 or 5 times, I think, total.
And that's weird that they only did 4 or 5 times, but they're just cemented with SNL.
But that shows you like what a cultural phenomenon that show was.
Absolutely.
At that time.
Well, who else did I put down here? The Continental. I was saying he came close. Yeah. Dieter from Sprockets. I liked it, but at the same time, it was maybe like a little too weird for me. But like I was like, I see what this is going.
I would say my first runner up though has to be the Ladies Man.
Oh, Ladies Man.
I always enjoyed the Ladies Man.
Yeah, talk about doing the butt.
And partly it was because Tim Meadows, he was a guy who waited a long time to have a breakout character.
Yeah,
he was on the show for like years. And let me see, do I have the?
Yeah, he was always just like around.
Yeah, and he was always there, always solid, doing nice support in sketches, but he never had like a breakout character of his own until he got the Ladies Man, and that was like I know years into his tenure.
Yeah, that was great. I don't know why I waited so long, or maybe it just took a while for him to get on.
Yeah, and the sketch of his I rewatched this morning, which I'd totally forgotten about. He had Monica Lewinsky on.
Oh shit!
And not somebody doing Monica Lewinsky. The actual real life Monica Lewinsky appearing on the Ladies Man.
Holy hell! I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, and they're taking calls, and then whenever a woman calls in, he's like, "Ooh, it's a lady," because he's the seductive
Lothario.
Yes, and the caller's like, "Oh, I'm thinking about starting a relationship with my boss at work. Is that a good idea?" And he's like, "Monica, I'll let you take this."
And of course, everybody bursting in. That's crazy that she did that. Like after that whole scandal, she was just like able to make fun of herself.
It's unreal. I mean,
wow.
And she was like so young when that happened too.
Yeah,
she was like early 20s, and
it is insane. Like if you think about that, it's like wow, That was some kind of something.
You know, thank God for her that she survived all that crap.
Yeah.
You know?
She seems to be okay.
Yeah,
You know,
and she's like,
good.
you know, made a life for herself outside of that. And I think she's like I think she still does like speaking events and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was.
And but
she's a lady.
and they had John Goodman call in as Linda Tripp.
Oh wow!
And they just threw his photo up, and you just hear his voice. So I don't know if he was actually there or not. But at one point they were like, Linda, we're hearing like some clicking in the background. What is that? And he was like, oh, I'm in a phone booth, and people are like throwing things at me from the road. They're throwing glass bottles and things.
Oh my God!
And
what an insane time.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still insane times, but
yeah, it's just insane in a different way.
Yes,
but I mean,
it's a different type of
the
insanity.
Lewinsky thing seems almost cute in a weird way.
Yeah,
now. It's
this is.
But you know what? Maybe I should just do this just to be on the safe side.
Just cover your tracks,
just in case.
Yeah,
you know,
just in case. All right. So also in consideration, I had the Sweeney sisters. I was thinking about.
Okay.
But I couldn't find a video of them to kind of refresh my memory. Mary Catherine Gallagher was on the cusp. Who else? Master Thespian.
Master Thespian, I always liked.
Thank
you.
Yeah, just big bombastic
acting
boy.
genius.
Who else I have? Linda Richmond. I mean, there's so many.
I never got too into Linda Richmond.
Really?
Yeah.
Finally, I hit one you don't like.
Yeah. Linda Richmond, I was just like, okay, well, this is the thing we're doing for the next few minutes.
I don't know. It was just a hand gesture, the way she's always touching her hair.
I understand it was based on Mike Myers' then mother-in-law.
Yes, which is interesting.
So,
I think her mother's like, "Oh, is that that's how you see me?"
And surprisingly, that marriage didn't work.
What?
Out.
Wow.
So,
who knew?
Yeah.
Wonder
why.
Yeah. Of course, Eddie Murphy. Of course, I have Gumby and Buckwheat down.
Right.
And what else I have? Yeah, I guess that's about it. Oh, I also liked Bronx Beat, Betty and Jody.
Yeah.
I always kind of kick out of those.
They were good. Good.
And that's pretty much all I got. Any other ones you got there?
That was about everybody on my list. Okay.
And actually, I was also thinking about putting like this one, Lothar of the Hill People. But I think I just like the theme song more than I like the actual sketch.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. That was... I would put that firmly in the realm of okay.
Yeah.
I never hated it, but it never blew me away either.
Yeah. It's the same thing. I'm just like... I think the more I think about it, it's like, no, I think I like the actual theme song.
I remember them, like, they would talk about the last time they walked with a woman.
And now, of course, indicate...
going on a walk with a woman.
Yes. Yeah, of course.
Right.
That's what.
I mean, what else could it possibly mean? Darren?
I don't know. I guess that's it, and we'll end it right there.
All right.
And I guess that's all I have. Miss Rafferty I liked, but I mean, she's like Kate McKinnon's character.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Always get abducted, has no pants.
Yeah.
At the end of it, and
I'm not sick of that yet. I still enjoy that.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I can't like she's
most anything Kate McKinnon does, I'm good with.
She's a superstar now. She's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. And I guess that's it. That's our show.
That's that's our favorite characters. So
yeah.
Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you think? Let us know.
Yes.
Come at us on Twitter. We're on Twitter at SNL Nerds Show.
Right. You can tweet at us, berate us, do all what you will.
Come at us. Come at us.
Have at us what you will.
And you can also reach us on Twitter individually. I know Darren is at Darren Credible.
Yes, Darren Credible, Twitter, Instagram. Got a website up too, Darren Credible, DARIN Credible. Got some shows coming up. I'll be in Rutherford, New Jersey. I'll be in D.C. in March on my birthday weekend.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So come wish him a happy birthday, people.
Buy me a drink. Give me a cupcake or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, give me things. And later on, I'll be in my hometown of Queens in May, and in June, I got like a Morristown, New Jersey show lined up. So yeah, just follow me and hit me up and holler at your boy.
Yeah, and you can also find me on Twitter at Trumbull Comic, and just come at me there, and we'll talk about SNL or other stuff.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't say "come at us." It sounds like we're asking for a fight.
It does. It does.
So it's like we're trying to like a switchblade fight.
Let's have friendly conversations on Twitter. Let's change Twitter from the cesspool that it currently is.
Yeah, let's make this good again.
Yes.
Yes.
And you know
Make
what?
Twitter
you know
great
what?
again.
For Twitter.
Yeah, for Twitter.
Because Twitter has problems.
Exactly.
Let's be real with it.
Let's
it's got some problems.
Oh my God.
But let's fix the Twitter.
Yeah, let's bring in the love, guys.
But Come
on, people now. I said that last week. I'm sorry.
That is it for our show this week. But we're going to be back next week. John Mulaney
and
returning.
Thomas Rhett.
Thomas Rhett, yes.
Yes.
Who is a country guy?
Country guy. For a minute, I thought his name was Rhett Thomas, but no, it's Thomas Rhett.
Thomas Rhett. Okay.
Thomas Rhett, country guy. And March 9th, Idris Elba.
That's right.
Fion, fion, fion.
Yeah.
And Khalid.
That's going to be interesting.
He's an R&B singer. Yeah, I mean, Idris has done comedy. He was a couple episodes of The Office.
That's right. I remember.
And
when Steve Carell was getting ready to leave.
Yeah, and that might be it. He's probably on some shows I can't remember, but I mean he's mostly a drama dude. But I think.
But it's going to be fun to see what they do with him.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I got faith in him. I think he'll do all right.
Yep.
I think it's. I remember hearing like years ago. I think I heard he was like a bouncer at a comedy club. Like
interesting.
Back in the day, maybe he was it a Cellar or something? If anybody knows, tweet at me. But like I remember hearing he like before he became a star, he was like a bouncer at a comedy club. So I mean, he's surrounded by comedy. He's comedy adjacent. So
and that's what you want in a host: comedy adjacent.
Exactly.
You would just want them to be in the general area when comedy happens.
Yeah, just in the neighborhood.
Yeah. But anyway, that is our show. We're going to wind it up for this week, and we will see you next week on March the 3rd, and we'll be talking all about the March 2nd show.
Yeah.
All right. Or actually, that would be dropping on the 4th.
Right. The 4th.
Yeah.
So it's
because we record this on Sundays and we release it on Mondays, and I got mixed up. So I'm stupid. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I screwed it up right at the end.
Unprofessional. You make us look like amateurs.
This in retrospect wasn't our best show, but that's okay. See you next time, guys.
Later.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.